A decision that could change the franchise's fortunes was recently made. Among several offers, a big name in the NFL chose Las Vegas as his new home, and the reasons behind it are surprising. If you want to know why he rejected other teams to join the Raiders, click the like button and subscribe to the channel here. This signing will be the talk of the league. When the Raiders make a move, it's not just to plug holes, it's to turn things around. It's to change the course of history. And the latest move shaking up the NFL's backroom is the kind of bold gamble that could yield unexpected dividends for Las Vegas. We're talking about Treylon Burks. Yes, that wide receiver who was a first-round draft pick and could now be within the Raiders' reach for next to nothing. According to the rumors behind the scenes, Burks would be available for a conditional 7th-round pick in the 2026 draft. That's right, the 7th round. For a talent with an elite pedigree, a dominant physique, and still only 24 years old, he's practically a gift wrapped and delivered to the door of Allegiant Stadium. But how is that possible? Why would the Titans be willing to let him go so easily? The answer lies in injuries. Burks had a turbulent time at Tennessee. After an inconsistent first year, he was plagued by a series of injuries. In 2023, he barely played. He only made 4 receptions before a torn ACL, suffered in a special teams practice, ended his season prematurely. For many, this would be the end of the line. But for the Raiders, it could be the beginning of a redemption story. And this storyline makes perfect sense given the franchise's current momentum. Chip Kelly's offense is beginning to find its identity. Geno Smith is already showing chemistry with the squad, and Davante Adams is leading the receiving corps like a true mentor. Beyond that, however, there's an open competition, and that's precisely where Burks could come in. A raw talent, waiting for the right opportunity, in the right place, with the right coach. Vegas could be the spark he needs to revive his career. USA Today analyst Corey Woodruff put it bluntly, if ever the NFL should take a chance on a former first-round WR, it's the Raiders. He continues, Burks still has the physical potential to be dominant. He just needs a more stable system and a real opportunity. And Las Vegas offers both. In other words, it's a combination that could yield immediate and long-term results, especially considering the low cost involved. This move also fits perfectly with the Raiders' new management philosophy. Seek talent, not status. Avoid expensive names full of emotional doubts, like Amari Cooper, for example. Despite being available, Cooper isn't even considered internally, according to the official commentator at the time, Lincoln Kennedy. Amari never wanted to be a Raider. That was clear from his first interview when he was drafted. He wanted out, and he left as soon as he could. Kennedy was even more blunt when analyzing Cooper's performance. He never took the next step as a route runner. He's a wideout, not a WR coach. And what the Raiders need now is explosiveness and delivery, not nostalgia. The truth is, despite not being in the market for receivers, the Raiders are selective. And Burks, oddly enough, may be the most logical bet of all. He's young, he's explosive, he's hungry, and he's cheap. The ideal scenario for a franchise looking to improve without blowing the salary cap. With Burks, the Raiders can address a roster shortage without compromising the future. And most interestingly, if this move comes to fruition, it could just be the beginning of a new phase of exploration in Las Vegas. One of rejuvenation, speed, and ambition. Because in Chip Kelly's sound system, any talented receiver can become a lethal weapon. And Burks has the complete package. He just needs another chance. And if the offense plays smart, the defense won't be left behind either. Now, get ready to meet the Raiders' next big defensive prospect, a former first-round pick who wants to prove he can still be a star. On defense, the Raiders have been quietly rebuilding, and one of the most intriguing additions is cornerback Eric Stokes. Once seen as a future defensive cornerback for the Green Bay Packers, Stokes started strong in his rookie year, but has since struggled with injuries and inconsistency. Now, in Las Vegas, the Silver and Black believe they can unleash his full potential. Hondo Carpenter put it bluntly on the Las Vegas Raiders Insider podcast. If Stokes is healthy and plays like he did early in his career, this secondary will see a huge improvement. That's exactly what the Raiders need. Their cornerback core has suffered turnover, and while time has lost some fan-favorite defenders, they avoided overpaying in free agency, a trap they've fallen into in recent years. Under the new leadership of head coach Pete Carroll and general manager John Spytek, the Raiders are approaching roster construction with discipline. Instead of offering big contracts to older players, they're betting on younger athletes with untapped potential. Stokes fits that profile. He's fast, strong, and has already demonstrated his ability to perform at a high level when healthy. The big question is whether he can stay on the field. Injuries have limited him over the past 2 seasons, but early reports from training camp are positive. If Stokes stays healthy, he could not only start, but also make a difference in a secondary desperate for one. And the stakes are high. With training camp approaching, the Raiders have yet to sign a veteran cornerback, which demonstrates confidence in the current roster. But if the young cornerbacks falter, it wouldn't be surprising if the front office quickly changes strategy. Now, while the defense is quietly being restructured, the receivers room is buzzing again. And this time, it's about another veteran target who may want to join the Silver and Black. The offseason hasn't even reached its peak yet, and yet another wide receiver has firmly firmly entered the Raiders' radar. And this time, it's a name packed with production, strength, and attitude. Joan Jennings, a key player in the San Francisco 49ers 2024 offense, is officially in the Las Vegas Raiders' sights. And the reason? Contract. Jennings wants to be valued. He wants security. And if the Niners don't grant his request, he's already signaled his willingness to force a trade. With 77 receptions, 975 yards, and 6 touchdowns last year, Jennings finally established himself as a reliable weapon, someone who can change the course of a game. He's exactly the type of player coach Pete Carroll and GM John Spytek are looking for to complement Chip Kelly's system. The offense needs depth, experience, and consistency. Jennings delivers all of that in one package. The curious thing is that, although Las Vegas has been linked to several names in recent months, including Washington Commanders star Terry McLaurin and the still promising Treylon Burks, Jennings' name seems to best fit the current roster situation. He's 28 years old, not at the physical or technical peak of his career, has playoff experience, and is versatile enough to line up inside or outside. Alongside Jacoby Myers, who also enters the final year of his contract in 2025, Jennings could form one of the most underrated duos in the league, if the deal goes through, of course. But everything comes at a price, and therein lies a question. The 49ers, naturally, won't release one of their most productive receivers for peanuts. The rumors indicate that a second or third round pick would be the minimum required. And for the Raiders, this represents an important strategic consideration. After all, the franchise just invested in 2 young wideouts in the draft, Jack Beck and Donta Thornton. Both are promising, with flat on rhythm and timing as Chip Kelly's. Having a running back who knows where to be, when to be there, and who earns the QB's trust can be the difference between a mediocre offense and a relentless one. On social media, Jennings' name is already dominating Raider Nation forums. Fervent discussions about a possible trade package are circulating everywhere. Some fans argue that Jennings' arrival could transform the offense. Others argue that the future lies with Beck and Thornton, and that it's time to invest in youth. The truth is, no one knows exactly what John Spytek is up to, but everyone agrees on one thing: the Raiders aren't sleeping on the job. Furthermore, speculation about wide receiver trades continues. First it was Burks, then McLaurin, now Jennings, and it wouldn't be a surprise if more names emerge in the coming days. The feeling is clear. Vegas' offense isn't set in stone yet, and the front office knows it. And you, Raider Nation fan, would you bet on a trio of talents hungry for redemption like Treylon Burks, Eric Stokes, and Joan Jennings to transform the Raiders into a competitive machine in 2025? Or would it be better to focus entirely on developing the young players already on the roster? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, but I'll be back later to update you with the latest Raiders news.